Before we go over the lesson 13 homework, let's just talk about a couple of things here. First of all, if you have a request for a background that you'd like to see up here behind me, email it to me. Let me know what you want. I'll see what I can do. All right. I'm just trying to come up with ones for now just to keep it fun. Also, if you are a Buffalo Bills fan and you're not happy with the 49ers right now, mix in a Super Bowl one time and then we'll talk. If you are a Giants fan, all right, and you're upset about the 49ers, play in a division that's worthwhile, because the NFC East is probably one of the worst divisions in football. And if you are a Jets fan and you're upset about this, do the Jets still have a team? Do they even play in the NFL anymore? I mean, that's where we're at here, okay? Anyways, let's go over the homework. So here are the solutions. If you want to pause the video real quick and check those, you can. I am going to go over number 15 and number 21. I feel like they're the trickier ones on here. And then if you have additional questions about any of them, you can certainly reach out to me. So check those real quick. All right, number 15 is the secant of 240 degrees. So we got to remember from the lesson that secant is cosine's reciprocal. So to find the secant of 240, I'm going to first find the cosine of 240, and then at the end, flip it. All right, so cosine 240, to find the cosine of 240, I first need to find 240's reference angle. 240 sits about right there. All right, so its reference angle is going to be this angle right here. If this is 240 and this is 180, we have a difference of 60 degrees right there. So cosine 240 would be the same as the cosine of 60. All right, where do I get the cosine of 60? Our triangle, 30, 60, 90. So let me sketch that in real quick. Cosine adjacent over hypotenuse, so it's going to be 1 over 2. But because of ASTC, we are in the T quadrant, which means this is going to be negative 1/2. And now remember, the original question was a secant question. So we need to take this cosine answer we got and flip it. So when I flip negative 1 over 2, it becomes negative 2 over 1, which is just negative 2. So that is number 15. I'm going to do 21 next. All right, 21 is a great question for putting it all together. We're going to have to first convert it to degrees. So let's go off to the side here and take 5 pi over 4, multiply by 180 over pi. Pi's will cancel out. 4 goes into 180 45 times. 5 times 45 is going to give us 225 degrees. So we are finding the secant of 225. To find the secant of 225, I need to use its reciprocal. Its reciprocal is cosine. So I want to find the cosine of 225. And when I'm done, flip that answer. To find the cosine of 225, I need to find 225's reference angle. 225's reference angle. Here's 225. Got to turn my light back on. 225 is right here. 180 is right here. You subtract those two, you get a reference angle of 45 degrees. Remember, reference angles are always formed with the x-axis. So cos 225 is the same as cos 45. The cosine of 45, 1 root 2. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so it's going to be 1 over radical 2. Because we are in the T quadrant, just like we were in the previous question, cosine is going to be negative, so it's negative 1 over radical 2. That's not your final answer, though. Remember, the original question was secant. We want the secant of this angle, so we need to take this answer and flip it. So when I take 1 over radical 2, which is negative 1 over radical 2, and flip it, I get negative radical 2 over 1, which is the same as just negative radical 2. You can write it either way, but there's your final answer. So that question has a lot in it. Converting to degrees, reference angle, ASTC, 45, 45, 90 triangle, and then the idea of flipping it because of reciprocal. All right, let me know if you need help with any of the others on this homework.